If you want to learn how to create a newsletter that does not end up in the trash bin, then you need to create a digital and interactive real estate newsletter with Canva. Hi friends, it's Laressa, aka La to the R-E-S-S-A. Welcome back or welcome to the channel if you are new here. This is a place on the internet where I help fellow real estate brothers and sisters level up their content creation, marketing, and branding game. So if that sounds like your vibe, then please hit subscribe. Now, how are we going to be creating a digital newsletter with Canva? Well, let me show you. This is the design here. Now, very simply, what I did was essentially use Canva website doc type, and I created a landing page. And here it is pretty much all interactive. Here's a YouTube video. You can click on it. You can play it. See that? Then we have a section here for your listings, and you can go ahead and click on that. That will bring you to a link. And then here we have at the bottom is some stat information, and of course, you know me, I always like to have some clickable icons on the bottom. So that's what it looks like in the full desktop view. And if we go down to crop it down to mobile, this is what it looks like optimized for mobile. And again, this is an interactive newsletter that we are making with the Canva doc type. So essentially this is just a landing page, and we're going to take that link and distribute it across various platforms. In this case, we're going to email it out to our database. So let's go ahead and create this design here. So we're going to start off here in the Canva homepage. Now again, you want to be toggled on the websites here, and you can look at some of the different designs here, but of course we're going to start off with a blank website. Okay, so here we have a blank page. I am actually going to create 3 pages. The first one is going to be our heading here. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to make it maybe that size. And then the third page here is going to be where our social media icons are going to be. It's going to be a footer. And just so we know that this is separate from the newsletter, I'm just going to make this green here. And this is where we are going to be inserting our header. Now, this is what I did for my header. I created another design in Canva. So this is basically what I use for my Google Forms, and this is typically what I use for the banner there. So this is let's see here, a 1600 by 400 pixel design, and all you have to do is just design this up as you please. And you can look on the side here, there actually is suggestions as to how you can brand and design this banner here. And this is what I did. So what I did was just design it, download this as a PNG, and went back into my design here. And then I just made sure to put it in my brand hub. If I scroll down here in graphics, and what I did was just click it in here. And typically I just right click and I would set it as the background. Now again, you're gonna have to eyeball how big this page is gonna be by dragging it. So it's somewhere around here. And that's pretty much it for the header. Very simple, very easy. I think that's just the best way is to create the design outside, download it as a PNG, and then just put it into here. So that way it doesn't shift or move around when you are designing this out for desktop and for the mobile version. So I'm just going to zoom out just a little bit, because essentially, again, we're going to do a little bit of some guesstimating, and we're going to pull this down to the size of how long we want our newsletter to be. Now, for this particular newsletter, I've created it as a very general newsletter that would be worthy of being sent out to your entire database. So let me just go ahead and just kind of eyeball that down a little bit more here. So I've broken my newsletter down into 4 sections. Again, if we go back into this design here, let me just go here. We have a business spotlight, we have a YouTube video of me trying to traffic people to my YouTube channel, and then again a section on your property highlights, and then the bottom here is a market meter. So 4 different segments. Now this is completely up to preference, up to choice. You can do whatever you want on this. I'm just showing you a generic template of what would be nice to see in a newsletter. Now here in the top section here, I recommend this to be something that is of the community, whether you are promoting an event, you are highlighting a business, or even promoting an event that you are running for the community. I think it's just a place of service that you're coming from, instead of just putting, your stats and your information in people's faces. So this is nice to have something here as, a focal point. And again, you can do this either monthly like I'm doing here, or you can do this on a weekly basis where you are changing out the information. So let's go ahead and just build out this template here so you have an idea. So essentially what I did for each header was just go into my shapes here, and then I would just build it out like this. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Then I would have a section here, and then I would just click on this, hit the Alt option, click, and then drag, click and drag while still holding the Alt key, just so I have a rough idea of where I want each segment to be. Now you can make different pages, but I just opted to make one long white space here, just so I can play around with everything and it's just easier for me to design. So that looks pretty sufficient for the sections here. I'm not going to go through the details of changing out the colors. I just really want to show you how to build out the template of your newsletter, because essentially if you decide to build this out, you want to make sure that what you are creating in the back end is also going to be optimized when people are viewing this either on desktop, but most likely going to be on mobile. So there is a technique to designing this, because essentially when it comes to these Canva websites and these landing pages, when you are optimizing it for mobile, essentially Canva is going to be reading everything from left to right and essentially just stacking things on top of each other in the mobile view. So I want to make sure that you have everything properly aligned and locked in when you create your design. So I'm just going to skip out on this text, but let's just say these buttons already have text in there. And then all you have to do is just go in and add in your frames and your different text boxes. So in this case, I'm going to go into elements, go into frames. You can choose whatever frame you like. I usually like to use the rounded rectangle frames because I think that just has just a nicer, softer look. And again, you can use whatever you would like in this case. So again, I'm going to put this here. We're just going to play around with the sizing of that. You can have a square photo like that, or we can do something that's more like this, elongated like that. And what I do want to mention before we continue on here is that I would recommend you to put in some guidelines for yourself so everything is perfectly aligned. So I'm just going to hit the Shift R key to pull up my rulers here, and I'm just going to create some margins for me so that we make sure that everything is exactly in the right spot here. So I'm just going to eyeball that. I'm just going to put this frame up to there, pull this down here a little bit. And so you're going to drop in your image here, or a video if you want. You can also put videos in these frames. So that's also something that would be really cool as well. And then just put in your text here. And you can change the alignment of it. Just do that. And then that's where your text box is going to be. And if you noticed on my design here, I had a button here. So I'm going to show you how I did that piece there. So it's really simple. All I did is went to elements. I just grabbed a square and I just sized it up accordingly. You can have whatever CTA, your call to action, in here. In this case, I was promoting a business, so I just said, just follow them or check them out on their social media. Now, the way you stylize your button is completely up to you, but I think what's really sleek is just to make it transparent and go in with a border. And you can change the color of the border. Now in this case, with text boxes, you can add text in here, but I refrain from doing that if you decide to make it a button, because we want to make sure that if somebody clicks on the text or on the box, the white space here, that it's still going to be clickable. So what I recommend is to have your shape and then go in with another piece of text right on top. So we can say, check them out. Spell it right. Spell it right. You can do that. Check them out. And then what I like to do, just to signify that this is a clickable button, what we can do is add stickers. And we can add in animated stickers here, which is awesome. So I'm just going to go click and I'm going to go animated. And let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Here's some graphics. You can use whatever you like. I typically just like to using this one. Oh, what happened, Canva? It does not want to use that one. All right, that's okay. Let's use this one. We'll use this one. This one is not that great because it's a white kind of box here. I mean, you can see the bit of the red, but that's okay. So we're just gonna put that there. All right, then what we're gonna do is add our hyperlink. So we're gonna go click on the shape here. We are just gonna go to the 3 dots and go to the link button here. I'm just gonna pull up Linktree. I have this as a shortcut. Will it work? Yes. Linktree here. And then again, you wanna hyperlink this again. And let's go Linktree. There. Now there is gonna be a underline. You can remove that just to make sure we have this properly linked. See, it didn't work. Link, space, enter. So you always want to make sure that your link is properly linked, hyperlinked. And then again, I like to remove this underline. And then what I'm going to do is just go ahead, click and drag, and then I'm going to group this so it's one single element. And typically after you put in all of your text here, you want to go in and make sure you also lock that down. So I'm just going to paste in that text I had from my other page here, and of course put in whatever. And at this point, what I recommend you to do, because this section is built out from left to right, I would also click and drag, and then I would make sure that they are centered properly. Actually, we're going to skip that. Because I want the box to be centered, because when I centered it, it thinks I want to center it with the mouse, and I don't want that. Anyways, I'm just going to group this together, and what I'm going to do is just lock this down. And you'll see why I'm doing this when we go to publish this site here. So again, this section here is going to be the home ownership series, and this is what my button, or this is what this section would look like if I pasted in from my other project here. So home ownership series. And you know me, if you've been on this channel for a while now, you know that I love to embed my YouTube videos, and it's really simple to do. And I'm going to show you some troubleshooting just in case you can't get your embedded video in here. So just go to your YouTube channel and let's just select whatever video you want. We're just really going to grab the link here, copy that, go back into your design here, and for me, all I have to do is just click the background. Okay, click the background, and we're going to paste it in. Command or Control V, and give it a second, and it should populate over. Now, I have heard that people have had some troubles embedding their YouTube videos, so I'm going to show you a few other ways so you can bypass that. So we're going to go into Apps, and if you search for the embed, you should find this here, and then you can go ahead and either paste in your link this way, or click here, or it's just showing you, examples of what you can embed in here, but that's how you would get that. That's the second way to embed. Or if you go down to here, I'm covering it, but this is your Canva Assist button. If you click here and you search for embed, you'll see there is the embed link. I'm covering it, but I'm going to paste in my YouTube link. And you should have your video also embedded that way. But typically for me, the good old just clicking on my canvas and then just, using my hotkeys, the Command or Control V, it usually works out well for me. In this case, you can also leave this as it is, or you can go in and add in some text above as well. Something like this, so people have an idea of what this video is going to be about. I recommend you use this section as a way to give value to your audience. So the best way to do that is to put in a YouTube video and also drive traffic to your YouTube channel. So this can be, again, a home ownership series, or a community tour, or whatever video you have out that week, or the best video of that month, you want to put it in there. And at this point, we can just leave this as it is. You can click and drag and lock it down if you want to, but this is already going to be stacked on top of each other, so we don't really have to worry about that. Now the next section up here is probably one of my most favorite sections, is highlighting your listings, or the listings in your office. I'm just going to move this down here because this is going to be a pretty sizable chunk here. So let me go ahead and just copy over my heading here so you see what I'm talking about. Paste here. Now, again, you can stylize your headings whatever way you want to. I just used, again, just that shape, a text box on top, and then I just added in an image, and all I did was just group it together. So these are all individual pieces that I've just grouped together. You can also use a sticker animated like this with the clickable here, but I prefer not to so people don't get confused because I want to make sure that they click on this as well. And of course, add in your photo. Let's just do that right now for fun. Let's go into photos here because I don't have a photo of that cafe there. Okay, we're just going to use that photo for now, but you get the idea. That's what it looked like. So let me just copy over my heading from my other project here. Now I completely forgot to show you this too. Now, let me paste this in. Not that one. Give me a second. I'm gonna copy this one here. Where did it go? It's right here. It's right here. Business spotlight. Now, what I would recommend you to do, which I totally forgot to show you guys, is to put in, now this is locked. This is locked. We're gonna move this down, do some troubleshooting, move this down. Now, what I would recommend you to do is to put in, the month. So in this case, I put together a little slogan or a little heading, which is hello August or hello July, whatever you want. And then I just put in a little sticker here, which is fun. And that's really easy to do as well. So I'll show you very quickly what this all entails. This is, again, just 2 pieces of text, a sticker animation that I found in Elements, just a sun. You can just look it up in the Elements. Just, again, sun, sticker. And then again, just go to animated, and then it should populate stickers like that. You see mine, I use mine right there. And then it deleted my sun, my sunshine. And then for my lines, this was just something for some added design here because I thought it was kind of empty if I didn't have these lines here. So I just added these lines. And then once you add in a line, you can change the foots of the line. So again, it's completely up to you. And at this point, what I did was just group this together, and I just made sure to lock this down, and I'm going to make sure I lock this down. So that's your design here. But now let's talk about, again, my favorite section, which is the property listing, because this one is really fun to make. So at this point, what I did was just go ahead and, you grabbed a piece of text here. I'm going to copy this over. I grabbed a piece of text. And by the way, I have my design opened on the other side. So I'm just copying and pasting this. So you see how I went through this chronologically. Again, if you want a text box, here's a little keyboard shortcut. Just press T on your keyboard for a text box. Again, just put a little bit of information in there. And then what I did, I'm just going to move this down even more. It was create 3 different properties. You can do 2, you can do 3, you can do 1, whatever you would like to do. In this case, I'm just going to do 3. So I'm going to grab some frames here. I'm going to go into frames, and again, you know me, I like the rounded rectangle. So let me see what I got here. I think I chose this one. And then I'm just going to first make one set, and then I'm just going to duplicate this because this is pretty optimal. So you're not wasting time building everything out one by one. Just hear me out on this. So I'm just going to click and hit the Alt key just to duplicate that. And essentially what you want to do is you can put the price in here. So I'm just going to change the color. I'm not sure what I have for a text here. I'm going to make sure that it's white. And let's just say, oops, this is 500,000. And then I don't like that font, so let me find something I do like. Well, it doesn't really matter. You can put whatever you'd like. Make sure you are selected on the text here. I'm gonna make it bold, probably make it italicized. And I think what I did was just increase the spacing like that. You can increase the size of that. And then underneath, what I created was a little highlight text and then just some pictures noting basically the highlights of the home. So this is pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quickly. So again, I'm just going to grab a text box here. And this is where you would want to put in, a little piece of highlight information about the home. So in this case, we could say that this is a family and pet-friendly park and neighborhood. So let's just put that there. And then underneath, what I'm going to do is go in just to build out some quick highlight information. So generally people like to know how many beds there are, how many bathrooms, square feet, the number of garage spaces. Now, when I highlight this information, or actually when I add in these elements, it makes them look really big and we don't want that. So let's just go ahead and size that accordingly. So I'm just going to speed this part up because it's pretty straightforward. Right, so once you have that information in there, you're pretty much set to go. Just choose the alignment, just make sure it looks really nice and pretty like that. Now we can make this font bolded and italicized like that, so it's a little bit different than the text down here. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in a view listing button, which is also my favorite part of this. So again, essentially what we're gonna do is just recreate the same button like this. We are going to make a square, and I recommend you make all of your buttons the same look and style so that your clients and audience can understand that shape, that button, that is a clickable link. So I'm just going to kind of make it like that. And again, we want to make sure we have the text box separate from the shape. Again, so I'm going to hollow this out. I'm going to make the border between 3 and 4, and we can change, oops, I do that every time. I want to change the color of the line here. Well, you can't really tell, but it is green. And then again, go ahead and put in your text here. So in this case, I'm going to say view listing. Why is it in white? Oh, she's gone. She's gone. We're going to change the color first. View listing. Ta-da! Listing. Just one. Then we're just gonna make it a little bit bigger, or not. Maybe we should make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, like that. So there you go. So I'm just gonna go to positions. Yeah, it's perfectly centered and aligned. And again, this is where you would hyperlink your buttons. Now you can hyperlink this exactly to your MLS IDX page. So if you have a KV core, you can bring them there, or in this case I have already an example of a property listing page, a single property listing highlight page that I've also made with Canva websites. And again, this is an interactive page as well, so if you click this button, it's going to take you to the virtual tour. I didn't have a virtual tour for obvious reasons, so I just put my YouTube video. But if I go back to the top, we can see that this is the home page, some information, highlight information of the home again, some more stats. And then what I like about this is an interactive map of where the property is located. And then I also have a photo gallery that's interactive as well if you click on it. And then of course, clickable buttons and contact information about you because you are that real estate listing agent. So I'm just going to go up to the home page again. I'm just going to copy this link here, go back into my design, and then I'm just going to very quickly just paste this in. The hotkey for the link is Command K for me. Not sure what that is for those of you who are using Microsoft. So anyways, again, that underline is there. I don't like that. I'm just going to remove it. And then here I'm just going to group this together by doing Command G. Now, you can put another clicky mouse button again, that sticker, but I'm just going to keep it like that. And at this point, what I would do is group this together, and then I would just hold the Option key on my keyboard and click and drag to duplicate. Okay, and then just make sure that's properly aligned, and of course make sure it's centered. And obviously you want to go in here and change out the different information that you have for the properties. Does that look good? That looks good. Okay, now you, at this point again, you can add in the photos of the property. If there's a new listing, you can do this where it's like new, there's like a new banner, like this corner new banner, like you can use one of these. You can put that on one of the listings here like that if you drag in a photo. So let me go and find a photo so you can see what I'm talking about, what I've used recently. Let's say it's this house. So you have a new banner that's a new listing, a new home, things like that. So obviously you can do this up to preference of what you like. This isn't the only way, but it's just, I think it's a nice way of doing it. And again, you want to make sure that this is all grouped down. And once you put in all your information, you want to make sure it's grouped, and then just go in and lock each group of elements together on the page, because when we go to export this or publish it as a website, we want to make sure that it's optimized for the mobile version, because if it's not, it's going to stack it all backwards and it's not going to look nice. So make sure you group it and then lock it down so it's stacked properly. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit because we need some more room for our last section here, which is going to be just a quick little market meter and a snapshot update. So I'm just going to copy my header from my other design here on my other window. And so again, I just used that shape, a text box, and then added in a sticker here. You can do whatever you like here. Now, to create your market update circle donut chart, you have to create it in a different project. So here I have another project in Canvas. This canvas size is 1030 by 770 pixels. Now, here I have made a pie donut chart with Canva. Now, if I go into a new page and you go into the design tab here, you can look up, pie charts, donut charts. There's going to be a bunch of different layouts that you can choose from, but very simply, all I would do in this case, because I don't really need that, I just need the chart itself, I would go into elements and I would go down into charts here and I would just click see all. And then I just chose this chart because I just like the look of it. And then you can go in and change your colors, obviously, but you can also go over here to change your data points. So new listings, and really what I did with this chart here is just grabbing the information that you would normally see on your MLS hot sheets, and just updating that information. Now it's showing percentages here. I don't want that, so I'm going to go into settings and I'm going to change it to numbers. So again, you just go in here, populate all your information. You can have more than one, or you should be able to add more than one. Yeah, if you just click here, you can add in more data points, and then again, change the colors out to your choosing, just like that. And then you can add some more annotations of what in an arrow and text of what this section is if you'd like. So this case, this is mine, where again, I just put in new listings, pending, active, inventory, sold, back on the market, and then these numbers here. And then what I did was just add in my EXP logo right into the middle. And then all we have to do is just download this as a PNG. I prefer PNG with a transparent background so we don't have any white space where we don't need it. Download that to your desktop and then go back into your newsletter design here. So we're going to give that a moment to download, which it did. I downloaded everything on that page. I should have just downloaded just that one piece of information. Well, I'm going to go in and just unzip that file. Give me a second. All right, so I have the file unzipped. I'm just going to click and drag it into my uploads here. And you see I already did it before when I was practicing this design, because I always practice my designs before I show you in these tutorials. So that clicked down there and I don't want that, so I'm going to move it up here, and then I'm just going to size it accordingly, and then I'm just going to crop this a little bit because we want to add in some more text and information on the side because it's a market meter and a snapshot. So this is your snapshot, and then we are just going to create something that's fun and easy for your clients to just see and understand what it means. So we're going to create a little meter for fun. So we're going to go into elements. We're going to grab a square. It went somewhere in the middle. No. Square. Down here. I'm going to pull it down here. Then we're just going to make something like this, and let's just say seller in this box here. And then we can just duplicate this, right click, duplicate. In this case, we are going to make this buyer. And then I'm just going to flip the colors. So I'm going to make this seller box the green color from my brand kit. I'm going to change the font to that beige color so we can see that text better. I'm going to select both of them, and I'm actually going to duplicate them and italicize them. Now in this case, let's say it's a bit of a seller's market, and we're just going to make that buyer market smaller, that buyer text box smaller, and just extend the seller here. Now we can do it like that. You can keep it like that, or we can go ahead and add a... Oh, that's where my square went. It went down here. Goodbye. Delete. And then what I'm going to do here is just actually add a border to this, so we can see that it looks like it's encased. So I'm just going to just eyeball this for a quick second, make it transparent, and go in and give it a bit of a border weight. You can change the color of it as well. And I'm just going to make sure that it looks nice. And then all we have to do is click and drag with our mouse and just group it together. Command or Control G, turn off my caps there. And again, we want to lock this down. Now at this point, you can add in a bit of text to indicate what this means here. So I'm just going to paste this in here. And so we can see this is a seller's market, and what does this mean for your clients? So there's a little bit of some information in here. So that is pretty much it for the entirety of this design. Again, you can go ahead and design it any way that you'd like. This is just a basic template of what I recommend to do. I totally forgot to add in our clickable elements down here, but I'm just going to copy this from my other design here. And it's very simple. All you have to do is go into your elements and then just look for YouTube, Instagram, or even your email. In this case, all we have to do to hyperlink this is the same thing we've been doing previously for our buttons. Just click on the element, and you can just go to the three dots, click the link, add in your link, and then add in your Instagram here. In this case, because I put my email, instead what you would do is just put your email in here. Let me unlink this so I can show you. I'm just going to unlink this. So basically, when you put your email into this, it's going to populate for you on your behalf. So just go into link. All you have to do is just put in your actual email address. Make sure you spell it right. xprealty.com. Hit enter, and then it's actually going to populate this mail to colon to your email address. And then basically when people click on your email button, they can send you an email, meaning that if you have, for me in this case, I'm on a Mac computer. If I click on this mail button, it will open up my mail application with the location, or I guess with your email address in there, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is not collecting emails, it's just your clients being able to click on it so they can send you an email rather than them having to find what your email is, spelling it out and then perhaps spelling it wrong, and then that email doesn't get to you. Okay, so that's what that is. I'm going to group it and then I'm going to lock it down. Now throughout this whole process, you can go in and just make sure before you publish this, you can go into the preview button, and then you can see what it looks like what it looks like on desktop and on mobile when you go to publish this. Now I have this without navigation because we don't need that because we didn't label the pages. So give it a second because this is a pretty sizable design. So this is what it is going to look like on desktop. And again, you can click on this and test out the links as well. So if I were just to click on this link here, it should boot me to my link tree because that's what we linked it to. If you scroll down, here is your YouTube video. And then all of your information here. Then click on here, which is your property listing site. I will be sure to link that video in the cards above and the description box down below if you want to learn how to create this exact design as well. And then of course here we have our market meter, but here is the test of all tests, is to see what it looks like when it's on mobile. So click on that and let's see and make sure that everything is properly aligned. See, this looks a little funky. I don't like that, so we're gonna fix that. Scroll down, keep scrolling down, everything looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. So it's just that one piece there. So what I'm going to do is lock this down. Actually, before I do that, let's make this a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to lock this down and then lock this down. And you want to make sure all of your headings are grouped and locked down as well. So I'm just going to do that for good measure. So basically what you want to make sure is that everything you want to stay in place is locked down on the page so Canva doesn't move it when it tries to optimize it for mobile. So again, let's go into preview and let's go in and see. Yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it's just doing that today. I'm not sure why, but we'll see when we go to actually publish this, because do keep in mind that even though it is showing you a preview, sometimes it doesn't actually look like this on after it's published when you're actually looking at it on your phone. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm not sure why it is doing that. I don't know, Canva. I don't know why, but that it should be stacking this on top of that. But I mean, here's my design that I have previously made. And it should look like this, but it's not looking like that. Let's see what I did in this design here. If I edit it, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I think I just chose a different frame here. No, it's the same. So I wouldn't fret it. I would just keep it as it is and then just go ahead and publish it, which we are going to do right now. So let's go ahead and publish this website here. So I am kind of in the way, but don't worry. So without navigation, we're going to choose free domain. Now you can use, you can purchase a domain from Canva. You can use your own existing domain that you've already purchased yourself. But honestly, I just go free all the way because it's less of a headache and that's just what works with me. So I just go free domain. Now, if you are a free Canva user, you can choose a free domain and make up to 5 websites. But if you're a Canva Pro user like myself, you can have a free domain and create as many websites to that domain. So for this case, I've already chosen my domain name, which is Laressa Ngoeun wolfpack.mycanva.site. Now here is where we can change the slug out, which is basically what it looks like up here. Like it's like the logo and the text here. So let's just go ahead and change that. We can use a logo. Typically it would pull our logos from our brand kit, but it's not doing that today. Why, Canva? Why? It's not doing that today. So we're just gonna skip that for now. We're gonna do newsletter. You can put whatever you want to put here. I recommend put your name and then put newsletter. And then you can put a description in here, but that doesn't really do much. I don't touch in any of this stuff here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit publish. Give it a second. Another thing that I wanted to show you when it comes to your Canva website landing pages is that if you go to your settings here by clicking on your picture, account settings, and then go to your domains here, you can see all of the pages that you've made. So in this case, this is my free domain name from Canva, canva.site. If I go to manage, I can see all of the different Canva websites I've made using this domain name, and this is where you can manage them. So let's say you don't remember where that design is, you can find it here, and then you can go to edit design, view website, or you can unpublish it. So that's a little bit of some back-end work. Just I wanted to show you that because I haven't showed this in my previous videos. So back to the tutorial. All right, so let's go ahead and view this website on desktop. And that looks pretty sufficient to me. Of course, I would go in and make sure that all these links are clickable, so make sure you do test them out. But the test that I want to test out is I'm going to take this link and I'm going to paste it into my phone and see what it looks like on mobile. Yeah. All right, it looks good. But again, the only thing that is irking me is just the front section, is that top section here. So let's go back to the drawing board and see if we can play around with this front section again. So I just went back in to hit edit image, and I'm going to unlock this, and it might be quite literally the frame, because if you look very closely, there is a frame here, a colored frame, if you will, a border, and I did not use that frame in my original design. So let me go to frames here. Let's choose rounded rectangle frame, and I'm just going to use this one. Where did you go? Up here. She's up here. And then that's the same one. Use something else. This one. Where'd you go? Where did you go? Oh, in the middle. We're going to delete that one. And this one does not have a border, so that might be something. So let's test this out. Live time, we are troubleshooting. Let's just go ahead and drag an image in here. Let's lock it in, and let's see, maybe it's also because, hold on, let's make this image a little bit bigger. Let's lock that down. Let's preview it in the mobile. Yes, it was the frame. Okay, so if you're gonna do this, choose the frame without the border. I'm not sure why it does that, but anyways, that's what we had to fix. Now again, just go up to publish, and then go down here, hit continue. If we click on here, let's see if we can change the logo. Something's not working right here, but usually again, you can choose your logo. You can choose the logos that you have in your brand kit, and then just go down to publish. And then again, because this is going to reload, what I'm going to do is to just go in and reload my tab on my phone here to see if it worked. So I'm just going to reload, and it did. It worked. It works. So now it is properly optimized for your mobile. Now, let's go over some quick disclaimers about this concept of a newsletter. Now, this is going to be a live link. As you just saw, when you make changes, it's going to immediately update from the back end to the front end. Now, if you want to keep a log of your monthly newsletters, what I recommend you to do is to download this as a PDF file so that you have this on hand. You can save it to your Google Drive. So I have saved this somewhere to my right, my left. Anyway, so this is the PDF. And again, this is just something that you have for your own documentation. And of course, with the PDF, these links are clickable except your YouTube video that's embedded into here. So this is something that you can keep on hand for yourself. Now, I'm sure you're probably asking, how are we going to distribute this? Well, very simple. After you export or publish your design here, what we're going to do is just take this link, and you can make this into a button in your emails. So in this case, if you are a real estate agent and you have access to a CRM, you can do a full email blast, you can do a full mass text. But in this case, I'm just going to show you very simply what it would look like if you were to do this just with Gmail itself. This is kind of just a write-up that I made, and then I made this button and I hyperlinked this button with that newsletter. So let me show you how I did this. So let's say You can choose your emoji here. So I have a shortcut that I do here, but you can also go down here to emojis to insert an emoji. And then I'm just going to do August newsletter. And then you can change the font of this. If you go here, do wide, and then you can italicize it like I did here, and you can make it large like that, and then keep that still highlighted. And then all we have to do is insert our link here. And did we copy that from over there? No, we did not. Let's go in. Oh, because we didn't. Oh, I know what we forgot to do, but that's okay. Press OK. We can test this link. It is still linked properly, except we didn't change the slug after that line there. But that's okay. I can show you how to fix that. Let's go back into our design. I'm sorry that this video is like literally all over the place, but I'm showing you this in live time. So go back to edit design, go to publish website, and you can change the slug, which is actually this part. So if you hit that button there, newsletter, and then publish, that's what it's going to look like. Now, because we just did this, we're breaking the link to our previous published design. So now this tab here should not be working anymore. So if we view website, click open, if we were to reload that site is not working anymore. So that's something to also keep in mind. If you change the link address, it's not going to be linked anymore. So this is your free Canva domain name, and then whatever you have after the slug, which is that slash there, so newsletter. So I want to make sure I have that in there. And then we're going to go into our email here, and then I'm just going to change that link out, and then just hit OK. And in this case, what I did was just to highlight the text there, and then I chose the background. You can choose whatever color you like, and all you have to do is just send that out to your database, hit send, and then this is what it should look like when you send it out. This link should be clickable if they click on that. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your real estate friends out there. And I recommend you check out this video right over here, which is how to design that single page property listing landing page that I know you're going to love and your clients are going to love. So if you're ready, be sure to click in 3, 2, 1.